Hi guys, welcome back to yet another interesting video on how to draft a basic shirt sleeve. Now bear in mind that this is a continuation of our previous videos on how to draft a basic shirt block and a front placket or a button stand. So if you haven't seen those videos yet, make sure to check them out before commencing with this particular video. Now, in this video, I will be using a sleeve block that we have previously drafted on this channel. So if you have no clue of what that is, make sure to check the link on the screen and that will take you straight to that video. Again, this is a permanent marker and this is just for demonstration purposes. You shouldn't be using your permanent marker when drafting your patterns. Now we are going to trace round this basic sleeve block that we've previously drafted. And don't forget to transfer all the markings from your block onto your pattern. Starting from the front, we are going to extend the underarm line by 1 centimeter. Then repeat the same step for the back. Now from the extended point, we are going to use that to draw in the new side seam. Using dashed lines or dotted lines, you are going to draw a line heading towards the hem of your pattern. Your pattern should look like this, and you want to repeat the same step for the back part as well. Now we need to prepare the wrist part of our sleeve. In order for us to do that, we are just going to square a line across. Starting from the front edge, you're going to place your ruler and square across a line towards the back part of your sleeve. Once that is done, we are going to measure 5 centimeters upwards from the hem of your sleeve. So you are going to repeat that for the back part as well. Once that is done, you are going to join both points together. So you need 5 centimeters from the hem of the sleeve upwards, and you're going to square across a straight line. So once this step is completed, you have created the base for your cuff pattern, and we need some measurement in order for us to complete this part. And the formula is your wrist measurement plus 5 centimeters. Whatever answer you have, you're going to divide that by 2. Then place your ruler or your measuring tape on each side of your grain line like so. And you're going to mark that answer. And you're going to repeat that for the back part of your pattern as well. So again, you have your wrist measurement plus 5 centimeters divided by 2. And that is what you need for this step. Now for the front side of our pattern, we need to measure 1.5 centimeters. And this is for your button under wrap. That is the allowance you need to place your buttons and your buttonholes. So you need 1.5 centimeters for that. This is a little mark to indicate that the buttonhole is included. So for this part, we are just going to strike off this excess amount that we have here. So before we trace out this pattern, we're just going to label this pattern, which is the cuff pattern. Now you're going to trace round this area. This is your cuff pattern. Now for the next part, we need the sleeve placket position. In order for us to get that, we need to measure 7 centimeters from the side seam inwards, and that position is going to be the sleeve placket position. From that point upwards, you're going to measure 14 centimeters. So you're going to square up 14 centimeters from that position. And this is the length for our sleeve placket. Placing your ruler on this new line, you're going to measure 1 centimeter on each side. And you're going to repeat that for the bottom part as well. Now you need to join all the points together using your ruler. This is going to form a rectangular shape. And once this is done, this is your new sleeve placket. Now from the center line, you're going to measure downwards 1 centimeter. Using your ruler, you're going to draw a connecting line to the new point. And you're going to repeat on the other side. So once that is done, we are going to trace off this pattern. But before we do that, we are going to trace off the cuff pattern first. With a fresh sheet of paper, you're going to place it over your master draft. And you're going to use your tracing wheel to trace this pattern off. Now for the placket pattern, we need to fold our pattern paper in two like so. This is to form a crease at the center of this pattern paper. Once we have that folded, we are going to place the crease exactly on the line of the placket, like so. Next, you need to make sure you have your tracing wheel or whatever you use in tracing your pattern to trace off your placket. So now you have your traced out pattern. So once you are done, you're going to fold along the top line like so. As you can see, we formed a crease or a fold line along the top part. We need to gently fold along that crease line or fold line. Next, we are going to add a seam allowance to this pattern. Now I will be adding 1 centimeter seam allowance for this pattern. With your pattern piece still folded, you're going to get your paper scissors to cut along the pattern like so. So you're going to open up your pattern. In total, this pattern should be measured 14 centimeters by 6 centimeters. That is including your seam allowance. You're going to copy this on a fresh sheet of paper, and that will be your sleeve placket pattern. Next, we need to go ahead to copy the cuff pattern. For this part, we need a pattern paper wide enough for both our cuff pattern because we're cutting it in a pair. We need to fold along our pattern paper like we previously did, and we are going to align that fold line on the hem of our sleeve. And again, you're going to get your tracing wheel and trace off this pattern. Now that we've traced around this pattern, don't forget to include your 1.5 centimeter from the side seam inwards for your under wrap line or position. This is for your button stand and buttonhole for your cuff. So you're just going to use broken lines or dashed lines to indicate that position. Remember, this pattern paper is folded. You're going to open up your pattern and repeat the same step for the bottom part. Now that we have the whole piece traced out, we need to make sure we include the button position and as well as the buttonhole position. Again, the measurement needed to mark in your button position is the same measurement as your button. So whatever size of button you've got is the measurement you need for your button position. Now for my second button position, I am going to measure 1 centimeter from the center line upwards, and that will be my second button position. Now to complete this pattern, I am going to add 1 centimeter for my seam allowance round this cuff pattern piece. Now to finish off the shirt sleeve pattern, we need to refer to the placket position. And from this placket position, we are going to measure 2 centimeters outwards. And from that new point, we are going to measure 2.5 centimeters. And this new position is called the pleat position. Now we are done drafting all the patterns needed for our shirt sleeve block. You need to get a fresh sheet of paper to trace off the remaining part of this pattern. Now we are done drafting our shirt sleeve pattern. So you need the sleeve, you need the placket, and you need the cuff. Now, if you want to learn how to sew this pattern piece up, make sure you turn on your notification so that you'll be notified on when we have the sewing video of this pattern live on our channel. Until next time, thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe if you've not done so, and also don't forget to like, share, and comment down below on what next you want us to feature on this channel.